EMR Assessment One, PDHPE, You and the Profession, by Paige Amos. Part 1, Me and my PDHPE experiences. What type of physical activity did I participate in? I have participated in a variety of physical activity for the purpose of sport and recreation throughout childhood to my adult life. At a young age, I participated in physical activities such as gymnastics, soccer, basketball, as well as participating in swimming and athletics through my school. As I began to develop into my adolescence, I continued with athletics but found a talent and interest specifically in discus, to which I was successful enough to qualify at a state level. Also during my adolescence, I was involved in the rugby union team through my high school. After school, however, my physical activity has slowed down and consists of weekly games of netball after university and leisure walks of an afternoon to maintain a healthy and balanced lifestyle, incorporating exercise into my everyday life. Why did I choose these activities and who influenced me? Living in a small country town with a school population of 38, physical activity had co-ed participation, playing a range of activities, both male and female dominated sports, for example, cricket and soccer, netball and dancing. Our teachers encouraged the participation of all students in each sport, discrediting preconceptions of girl or boy sports. Living in a small country town also limited the availability of sports. My family has played a strong role in my choices and participation of physical activity. With a supportive family base, my mother encouraged any and every interest in sporting activities. Also, the push from my grandmother, who was a high school PE teacher, were both contributing factors. Rugby union, as an adolescent, was strongly encouraged by my Year 10 PE teacher, Mr. Smith, who wanted to create more sporting opportunities for girls in the school. He believed that women were just as capable to perform as men in any sport and encouraged us to participate. Our training consisted of versing the male rugby union team to build our confidence and skill. This has instilled within me the belief of equal opportunity sports without discriminating of the sexes. Did my choice of physical activity change with age? Yes, it did. I became less active, I became independent, and jobs, relationships, and was balancing a school and workload. What are my current attitudes associated with PE? I believe that it is crucial for children to participate in physical activity, but also children from a young age to be educated on the aspects of healthy living. In his article, Kirk described the decline in physical activity as a slide to sloth. I believe this to be true. With Australia's living standards being so high, the people's lifestyles are characterised by cardiovascular disease, obesity and cancer. I have a passionate stance on the importance of physical activity in education. I believe that PDHPE teachers should take a firm stance and encourage physical activity from an early onset to prevent the development of such unnecessary illnesses in later life. PDHPE teachers have the opportune ability to build and nurture a routine of physical activity in school hours that may become habit for students. How might these feelings influence my teaching of PE in the K-6? I will make sure to make time in my fragmented timetable to assure PDHPE takes as much priority as other KLAs such as English and Maths, as I believe it is just as important. It has brought to me the belief in the equality in sports, giving equal opportunity for participation in all sports for both males and females. I will conduct in-depth discussions and be assured of students' awareness and understanding of healthy lifestyle choices. I will also encourage students that physical activity is an important part of life, giving suggestions to those who are not as athletic, as well as possible techniques that they utilise. Part 2, the ideal PDHPE teacher. What does he or she look like? They are slender and toned, with their hair fastened back, collared shirt, brand name shorts or track pants, enclosed shoes, usually joggers, promote sun safety, accessories is minimal jewellery, a clipboard, stopwatch and whistle for outdoor activities. How does he or she act? They are outgoing, friendly, interactive, positive, encouraging, enthusiastic, relatable, indiscriminative and open. What are the types of things he or might say to learners? Positive encouragement, something like, "That's great guys, let's try for another 5 push-ups." Questioning, "Can anyone tell me what could be classified as eating?" Giving directions, "We'll be both inside and outside today, can we please start filing inside?" They will also scaffold and mould appropriate behaviour and the correct way to perform. a technique. What skills and abilities does he or she have? They will be accepting of multiple perspectives and views on a range of topics. Teachers need to have the ability to manage by planning lessons and differentiating between classes and children, incorporating physical into an already tight and demanding timetable, as well as the ability to develop quality curriculum documents to retain the attention of students, making each lesson count. Also, to incorporate progression in following lessons on improvement, areas that need further attention, as well as the interests of the students. They must also have the ability to vary their methodology accordingly to the purpose of the lesson, provide appropriate resources and equipment to facilitate learning and development, as well as asserting authority and discipline when necessary. With a follow-up of assessment to distinguish can better their teaching, as well as to document the skills and abilities of the children. They must also deploy appropriate techniques when dealing with sensitive issues, including sexuality, culture, child protection, family structures, and drug use. What knowledge does he or she have? Extensive knowledge and application of the PDHPE syllabus with a range of potential activities to achieve necessary outcomes. The ability to show a knowledge of ways to integrate numerous KLAs into activities set out. Knowledge of the content required taught to students, for example, muscle movement, sun safety, healthy eating, and lifestyle habits. Also, awareness of cultural considerations, such as values and attitudes in regards to beliefs, clothing, and participation in particular activities. What activities or movements might he or she require his or her learners to do? Showing competencies in the ability to perform in dance or gymnastics, general activities that elevate the heart rate, such as running, preparation in sporting events, such as high jump, stretching, warming up and cooling down processes, as well as competitive group games, such as soccer or red sober. What stereotypes exist of PE teachers? Teachers who specialise in other subjects believe that PDHPE holds a lower status quo than other school subjects, with the misconception that it equates to merely playing games. There are also stereotypes on the personality and characteristics associated with being a PE teacher. The characteristics are that they're athletic, with the ability to perform at an almost level at any and all sports, as well as having an in-depth knowledge of rules and game structures. Also included is a personality trait such as always being happy and encouraging people. How might these stereotypes affect my feelings of self-worth in regarding to teaching PE? The stereotypes that exist may have a negative aspect to them due to the personification of being slender, extremely active and outgoing. With my lack of physical activity in recent years, I do not believe that I fit the mould. However, I have the outlook that my personality and my eagerness to learn will counteract these negative thoughts. I will, throughout my further studies, develop a better understanding of the content necessary for delivery to students and create a class that is fun, interactive and enjoyable. Also, the idea that PE teaching is easy, possibly not as important as other subjects, is another obstacle for me to overcome. It will be difficult to remove this stigma within a school, but I will aim to emphasise the importance of physical movement. I also aim to break the misconception that a good PE teacher has to be an elite athlete, merely have a love for the content, teaching and the interaction with students. Part 3, the verdict. How are you alike and different to this ideal? I am alike in the fact that I believe there is a need to have a bigger emphasis on PDHPE in the everyday runnings of schools, wanting to bring PDHPE from the background into the front ground of school curriculum, as well as my love for sport, both participating and observing. However, I differ with my lack of knowledge of rules and concepts of a vast range of sport, as well as not being as physically active as I would like to be. How do I feel about teaching PE in the K-6 context? I'm optimistic, especially due to the young age. I believe as a teacher you have the best opportunity to begin moulding the young minds and creating good patterns of physical activity. However, it is daunting as I don't have a very in-depth knowledge at this stage of the content necessary. I believe that I'll be able to build this confidence further as I progress through my degree, paying special attention to better myself in this area. Also, encouraged to make a statement to better the health of tomorrow's society of our children. What do I think the role of PDHPE is in student learning? I believe that the role of PDHPE is for teachers to act as facilitators and to encourage students to take responsibility to become active participants in their own learning and continual development, both physically and intellectually. PDHPE serves as the backbone in establishing the knowledge bases as it enables students to make informed, healthy lifestyle choices in later life, as well as providing opportunities for children to participate in physical activities at school and after. It also gives children the opportunity to create lifelong skills such as cooperation, acceptance, leadership, teamwork, problem solving, and strategizing.